certainty. If you are 100%, 99% even, if you're 100% certain that if I do something, I'm going to get a great outcome, you're going to do it. If you say, you know what, if I do 5 sit-ups right now and I'm going to get an instant six-pack guaranteed, we all would do it. You're certain in that, right? But where does certainty come from? Certainty is only so much external. You guys can only get so much certainty by watching me and trying to learn from me. You can get a good amount, but not true 100% certainty. So certainty comes from this diagram. And I'm going to break this down. Let me move this out of the way. So look on the bottom left-hand corner and start there with me, where it has like a gray kind of like background. Number one, it starts with belief. And most people, though they have negative self-belief, they think, you know what, about me or about Christy or successful other people that they want to be like. They think, you know what, that guy got lucky. Or it's because he's young. Or it's because Christy was lucky. Or, you know what, that won't work for me. Right? That's what their internal belief is. And they don't believe that it's going to work for them. They start with that. That's before anything else. So move up this ladder from belief to potential. Low belief, meaning you just don't believe that it's going to happen, right? Even though it's right there in front of you, you don't believe it. Low belief leads to people to think they have low potential. And potential is, if I grow this business, if I put in the work, I believe I could make $1 million and help 1 million people. But if you have low belief, you think the potential of that happening is like winning the lottery. You're like, that's low. Like, that's not, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, Alex, right? People that probably aren't here today, day one and day two, they were probably like, what's this guy talking about? Their low belief led to low potential in their mind, that this doesn't have the potential to work. Then if you think something has low potential, why would you take action on it? If you think I could do 1,000 sit-ups and I just don't think it's going to have any positive effect on me, why would your brain say, okay, still do the 1,000 sit-ups? You would not take action, right? Raise your hand if this is tracking. Raise your hand if this is amazing. Or raise your hand if you don't get it. I just want to see some engagement. I'm piecing it together for you though. All right, tracking. All right. So let's see. Yep, amazing. I'm with you. Got it. All right. So if you don't take action, where are the results going to come from? From a logical, just practical perspective, if you take no action on your business, you will make no money. If you take no action, there's no way you're going to make money. It's not in the real world possible. If you take no action on your facial hair and you never shave, the result will be that you have an overgrown beard. Like, it's 1 + 1 = 2. Simple. But when you get no results, look now, that arrow on the bottom going left. Now your lack of results in the immediate term, that causes yourself to reinforce the belief that, oh wow, see, I knew this wouldn't work. I knew this was a dumb idea. That's why yesterday we had 60 people. Today we have 42. You know, people are like, you know, I put a video on day 2 on my YouTube and it didn't work. So, you know, and they don't get the result, which reinforces their self-fulfilling prophecy that this isn't going to work, right? Say yes if this makes sense. I want to see in the chat. Say yes if this makes sense. All right. Yeah, Monica, I could send you the recording. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So I'm going to build on this though. Is this you? I'd love to hear it. We're day 3ers, right? We're committed. So no judgment. If this is you, put it in the chat. It's fine, right? I just want to hear it so we can work through it. Yes, yes, yes. And you see how this is something you can learn. Of course, this is tied to sales. In sales, it's about certainty, right? So how can you or I help someone get certainty that your coaching, your YouTube channel, your offer, whatever you're selling, they're certain that maybe 97% this is going to work out. You can never have 1,000,000%, right? But you can be like, you know what? Like, I'm certain if I do the work, I'm going to have an amazing potential at making this happen, right? Oh, there's my wife. No, they're in the room. Hey, she's back. Now the babies have their mommy. She's their favorite. So if that's you, I want you to write down your potential the way you see it right now. If that's an income goal, whatever target that is, but write down what you think your potential is as of today, this conversation. Write it down and then put it in the chat. And so Denise, no clue. So exactly, if you don't have an idea, there's no way you're going to grow a business or work with me or anything. Not you, Denise, but like in actuality, because if you don't see a path to, okay, if I do this or if I grow or whatever, then this is the outcome. If you don't even see past, okay, well, I don't even know, then you're never going to get over the hump. And again, this is not towards you, Denise, but this is just for anybody watching that maybe isn't commenting, right? But your potential could be a milestone. Like, you know what? I think like somebody said, let me make what I'm making at my job. Then let me quit that job, focus on my business like Christy, and let me scale to the moon, right? But again, you have to know your potential to say, you know what, through the hard times, through the difficult decisions, I'm going to take action because my potential is so high. But if you don't even put a number on it, you're not giving yourself a fair shot, right? I love that, Charlie. A movement. Wow, that's great. A movement is your potential, not just a business, a movement. I really, really love that. All right. So how do you produce certainty, though? Going back to my answer to my own question, how do you produce certainty when the world isn't giving it to you? What do I mean by that? I mean, you're putting in the work, you're grinding, you've done courses, you've tried, but you're like, why would I have certainty if the world isn't showing me that I'm making progress, right? Does that make sense? Say yes. Right? Let me know if that makes sense in the chat. Why certainty, Alex, if I have no real, like actual tangible results that the world or God, like they're not showing me, I don't see it, right? So why would I believe it? So remember yesterday or day one, when I mentioned on my phone, right? My screensaver, which is now my dogs, our dogs. I did those have $100,000 as that kind of belief, right? I said, you know what, like that, even though right now I have literally almost less than $1,000 in my bank account, and I probably had some credit card debt too. So maybe my net worth was negative. But I said, you know what, I am someone who has $100,000 in the bank saved. I am that guy, even before I was. So I acted as if not fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it is, oh, I have $1,000 to my name. Now let me go buy a gold chain and go to the club and buy a bottle. Raise your hand if you see the difference. Fake it till you make it is trash. Act as if is setting that belief that I'm going to do this. This is not maybe or low likelihood. This is happening. That's why I achieved it. Yes, I learned marketing. Yes, I learned sales. I had some mentors. I figured things out. But if I never started look at the white box. If you don't have that, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. You have to start with, what is that dream life? What is your why? Act as if you're somebody who makes $500,000 a year. If you made that much, how would you think about opportunity? How would you think about procrastination tax? How would you think about these things, right? So when you have that 100% or 99% certainty that no matter what happens, I'm going to find the way. I'm not certain about much in life besides if Facebook ad shuts down tomorrow, if YouTube shuts down tomorrow, I am going to find the way, or I'm going to make the way to, for myself and my clients, continue to grow and impact people. It's not an if, it's a when. I'm going to figure it out. You guys can tell, like, that's the truth. I'm going to find a way. When I was starting out, I had no money. I said, hey, I'm going to find a way to make this happen. If they can do it, I can do it. So then going up the ladder, high self-belief and having to make that dream a reality, because now you're like, okay, I'm excited. I have belief. I'm going to hit this goal. I'm going to make this much or help this much people. But now I have to make that a reality, right? That sets in a little bit, but it's exciting because you're like, you know what? Like, I have the potential to do that. I'm aiming towards a huge thing, a huge business or huge impact, or huge tithing. Like, I have immense potential. So belief leads to potential. High potential leads to you saying, you know what? I am aiming towards a massive potential and I won't fail because I won't quit. That excites you to take even more action with more confidence. You could say, Alex, I've sold, I've done videos, but if you do a video like this and you look tired and you're lackadaisical and you're not giving it your best effort, there's no belief behind that. So you can knock on 1,000 doors or cold call or market yourself, but if you have no belief, the actions you're taking are meaningless. So you have to take action with belief behind it. Because I could be doing this exact webinar, and I promise you, if I didn't have the belief that I have that I can help every one of you, you would not be listening. Because you would say, okay, the content is good, but he seems like he doesn't believe in himself or what he's saying. Like, he has no certainty, right? Say yes if that makes sense. And say yes if you believe I have certainty, right? That I can really help you, right? Say that in the chat, right? Because people can tell, like, everybody knows BS. Everybody knows BS. That's why I have clients that are even commenting, yes, yes, like, when I speak with them, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm certain I don't know the answer to that, right? Certainty isn't faking it till you make it, or, oh, I have the answer to everything, but I'm certain that I will find the answer. I'm certain that I'll figure it out. I really am. No matter how long it takes, no matter how much money, right? Or time. But your high belief in yourself leads to high potential in your mind. Like, I have a big vision that needs to happen. How do I make that happen? I take massive action with a bunch of confidence and clarity. Like, I'm going to make this happen. I mean, when you do that, you get results. You all know that guy at the gym or that girl at the gym, and they kind of came in like a little bit, you know, like they want to build up. They want a six pack, or they want to be really fit. And they have that energy and they have that enthusiasm. And you're like, wow, like, in 12 weeks, they're going to be in shape. Like, they're committed, right? Even when I was broke and I was still starting my business, one of my first clients was like, and he was honest with himself. He was like, Alex, like, you have it. Whatever that hunger, like, belief is, he was like, honestly, I don't. He was like, he was a realtor. He was like, I think I need to get a job. He was like, looking at you, I don't have that, man. Like, I really don't, right? So, but you all can have it. I wish I had this presentation for him back then, or I knew what I knew back then. I was just like, oh, thanks, but like, I don't know. We'll see if I'm here next month, right? But if you take massive action with a lot of self-belief, you're going to see life-changing results with your health or relationship or business. We're here for business, but with anything you do, right? But then when you see results, like, wow, like me, I have 100,000 in the bank. I guess I'm doing something right. Now let me have that as, okay, I want to make that per month. Wow, that's kind of a scary goal, but I have the potential to do it. Let me take even bigger action, more growth, more studying, more serving my clients. I get the result. That says, Alex, keep this rolling, 100,000 a week, have $100,000 a day. Raise your hand if this is amazing. I think this is life-changing. I really do. Even for people that are already, if you're already successful, this can work. Put that in the chat, say yes. this is the secret sauce, right? This is really what I help my clients with privately, because yes, this makes sense, but what you don't see is that there's tremendous speed bumps that you're going to see all across this ladder. And that's where most people quit, because they can watch this, they can be excited, even if they get that belief. But when they start taking action, action is the hardest part, and getting the results. It takes time, it takes strategies, it takes overcoming, oh, wow. Because a lot of people can take action with some self-belief, and then they hit some speed bumps. They're like, oh, no. I need to, instead of continuing this, I need to go back. I need to change my potential because I don't really believe in it anymore, right? Raise your hand if that's happened to you. You've had belief, you're excited, I'm going to do this. You bought a course before, and then you start taking some action. You're like, whoa, this is harder than I thought. I don't have the accountability. I don't have the support. Oof, I don't know. This is really, really hard. And then you backtrack, right? Been there. Well, that is a number I hadn't considered before. Yes. Conviction. Yes. This is powerful. Whoa, 100,000 a day. Exactly. Like, again, I never thought it was possible, but again, all I did was I said, you know what, 100,000 in revenue, 100,000 in the bank. But I didn't say $10 million. I said, let me just set a milestone, achieve it, because then that result fed my belief that I can continue growing. And this cycle perpetually grew, right? That's what I want you guys to really sit on. And I want somebody to raise their hand, and I want to see if I can coach you through this. If you feel like, Alex, I'm stuck, like or you're excited, maybe you're excited, but raise your hand. I want to bring somebody on live, and I want to see if I just want to hear from you on where you're at. And again, maybe you're like, Alex, I don't get it, or this is life-changing, or I want you to coach me through this section. I want you to raise your hand and see with this, if I can help you with this. Let me see if you guys can raise your hand. All right, I'm going to call on Emma. All right, Emma, you're on.
Yes, here.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Okay. Thank you for letting me ask you the questions.
Absolutely. Ask away.
Okay. So my biggest thing is to get clients, and I'm putting my videos. I'm doing videos like, let's say 3 per week, and but I'm not getting traction, and I'm thinking that I need to then go in person to the businesses to find people. What I do is I work with high level, and specifically I'm selling reviews. So I noticed that the businesses, they don't want reviews. They want is more customers and money. That's what they want. They don't see reviews as something that could bring that.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my thing. How
long have you been doing videos for? Not to cut you off, but how long have you been doing the videos for?
Okay, I did videos last year, but I didn't do as many. I did last year about the total of 40. This year, I'm taking it more seriously, and so far I have done 50.
That's good. So here's what you got to do.
But I go through what you said. Like, for example, sometimes
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Oh no! So what I was going to say was,
no, I'm waiting for you to.
So what I was going to say was, you have to give yourself some grace with that, and you can even give Emma a hand, right? Because look, you did 40 in 12 months, and now you've done 50 in 3 months, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's, you got to give yourself some grace, right? Like that's amazing progress. But what you're doing is smart because you're like, okay, I'm thinking about my ideal client and what do they want? Maybe they want something differently than what I'm offering. So I don't think there's really anything else that you could be doing besides tweaking the content, like you're saying, focusing on what is going to help them get more customers, because then you're delivering outcomes, not videos or reviews. Does that make sense? Right? If you focus on, like I said yesterday, the outcome and the result, you're going to be flooded with people to work with and videos to
Okay.
do
Yes.
and that. So that's why I'd recommend is continuing to make the videos and then just staying on track with that. Awesome. Here, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Let me talk to Denise. Hey, Denise. Thanks for coming on.
Good afternoon and TGIF to everybody. My question is, now this is so out of a different range that we've been chatting about. So I have a GoFundMe and I'm trying to raise money and funding. And I'm wondering if you have any tips basically on either how to, I don't know if you want to say leads, but to get funders or whatnot. It seems like it really came at a serious standstill. Some people, you know what I'm saying? And I noticed when you're talking to some people about it or whatnot, they don't even talk to you anymore. They just totally cut you off. Like, I don't know why. It's for a very good cause or whatnot, but I'm curious on for a fundraiser for a GoFundMe, do you have any tips on generating, I guess, funders, people that would
No, good
contribute?
question. Yeah, no, thanks for the question. So, I mean, of course, I assume and I hope it's for an amazing cause. I assume it is, of course. So at that point, if you're not getting enough funding, you don't have enough eyeballs. So you have if you could, I mean, charities market, it's okay to say that. Just like churches do, right? You have to get your message out there to impact people and then they want to give. But right now, if you're not getting enough funds, I mean, you just don't have enough eyeballs. You need to make more videos, you need more social media content. Because again, if you're not getting, it's not sales, it's donations for a great cause. It's because people don't know about your cause. They don't know about, again, what you're doing, right? So that's definitely what I'd recommend at that point. And I want you guys to write down, what is your ritual? Ritual meaning, what is that thing that you do every day? Because this isn't going to happen if I just tell you to do it or you think about it. It has to be an everyday practice of, this is looking on Zillow, like this is our retirement house, our dream house for our big family. This is the car. This is how much I'm going to donate. I'm telling you, if you do that, it sets in. Like, even when I was a broke kid, I'd look at magazines like, oh my gosh, look at these big houses, you know, like that's where I'm going to be one day. That affects your belief. So write down and put in the chat, what is that ritual, right? That thing that you're going to do to say, you know what, every day it doesn't cost any money to go on Zillow, or again, whatever your why is, or whatever is going to drive that belief or that dream lifestyle that's going to drive that belief. You can't just think about it. You have to look at it. You have to feel like it's tangible. It's there. That's why I had it as my phone screensaver. So I look at it and be like, I'm tired, but I got to keep helping. I got to keep serving, right? So what is that ritual for you? I'd love to see that. Let's see. Look at my goals daily. Thank you for your support on the chat. When I had everybody. No, Jamie, that's a great idea on writing down your goals and visualizing it. That's a great point, because you can just say, oh, I want to be grateful and I want to make $1 million, but really like, oh my gosh, when I make that, here is, again, like the church